want to start with a very important reminder. AI is a part of our life. AI is not something that is a fad. Think about the internet, think about cell phones, think about how our world has changed through multiple times as we have evolved over the last few decades. AI is just the next component of that. And for a lot of people, they're saying, yeah, I'll catch up later, or it's not that big of a deal. And what I'll tell you is it's a really big deal, and it's going to be harder to catch up later, and you're going to be behind the curve, behind the eight ball. And so my goal is really to help guide you, to help give you the context and the content that you need in order to succeed in using AI personally and professionally. There is so much that can be done through AI tools, and it's really critical that you understand the basics of how they work, and then you start looking for the resources that you can tap into, such as me, that can help you to evolve your usage of AI. And so, having said that, today I'm focused on some specific prompts that you can use within AI that can help you to generate more leads, that can help you to save time in your business, and really specific things that you can do that aren't going to be an extra tool that you've got to buy. There's lots of tools out there. I think that there's some value in a lot of those tools. I think that the things that I'm teaching you today are valuable in helping you to be kind of more of a self-serve, trying to be more of a, I'm going to use ChatGPT as the example, as the primary source that I'm going to use as the guide here to help drive my business to the next level. And the things that I'm teaching are going to be tools you can use within ChatGPT without paying for separate tools. Okay, I strongly recommend that you get on the paid plan. You get on the $20 a month plan because you get so much more than what you get on the free plan. So I do think you should pay 20 bucks a month for ChatGPT. I pay for ChatGPT and lots of other systems. So I'm not telling you it's the only one, but it is the one that has the biggest use cases. And for most people, ChatGPT is all that you're going to need. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you today is a couple of things. The first thing is I've created a list of 50 different prompts. Now, for those of you who are newer to using AI, a prompt is simply the statement or question that you are asking of the AI. So you have the opportunity to ask it anything that you want, but the more specific you are about what you ask, the better response or output you're going to get. And so what I've created, and I'm going to show you some examples here of what to use. What I've created is a sheet. I'm going to share my screen right now. And I'm going to get this out to everybody in the next couple of days. I'm trying to get it formatted better, okay? But what you're looking at is nothing yet, right here. So this is what's called a prompt library. Now, I strongly recommend that you start storing prompts that you use over and over again. So you want to think about what are some tasks or activities I do in my business repetitively, and then you want to be able to store those so that you ask a question of AI that gives you a good answer. But next time you want to ask that question again, you don't want to have to rethink what question should I ask or how should I ask that question. So that's where a prompt library is very, very helpful, because a prompt library, and again, I'm sharing one, I'll share with you guys this prompt library. So you can email me if you don't get a copy. Anybody who's watching live, you're going to get a copy sent to you over the next couple of days. You'll get a link where you can log in and get this library. I'll be updating it regularly. If you're watching this recorded, you can email me. My email will be in the description down below, but it's kingteam@johnloneking.com. And you can get this prompt library. But what I'm going to teach you today is how to use a prompt library, and I'm going to teach you what things it can do for you. So we're going to start out with right here. So the first one, I've got 50 different prompts that are going to be included. The first prompt is Facebook lead generation. Now, a good prompt is going to include what role the AI is taking on. You want to put them in the frame of mind and the mindset to say, hey, this is what I want you to do for me. I want you to be this type of person. I want you to play this role. I've literally lost my mouse. There's my mouse. Okay, cool. All right. I want you to play this role for me in answering this question. And so the critical part is to have a good prompt. It's to have thorough information. So the first thing is a role. In this case, you are a Facebook ads strategist for real estate teams. You're saying, John, I don't know how to come up with a good role for a particular prompt. Here's the beauty of it. You can ask ChatGPT to help you create a good prompt, but you have to know the framework. And so you could give this as an example, and you could say, hey, I need a new prompt similar to the one that is here that I've pasted as an example. So if you give it an example of something that you like, it can better replicate other things like that. So it's really important to understand that AI can help you with using AI better, but you have to know what questions to ask. That's why I'm giving you a lot of these tools now, because it's really the hardest part is I don't know what something can do. And if you don't know what it can do, you're not going to be able to make it do that. So here's an example of Facebook lead generation ad. So the role is you are a Facebook ad strategist for real estate teams. The action, I want you to develop 3 ad concepts to capture buyer leads. Here's my audience. So I'm going to prime it. The primer, here's my audience. Renters in, and fill in your city right now. Earning between, and change that if you want, $75,000 to $120,000 a year. My offer, because you got to have a hook when you're doing advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram, anything. You want to have a hook. You want to have an offer. And so my offer, I've got a free first-time home buyer playbook. Now, where are you going to get a playbook? Yeah, you're going to have AI help you to write it. You can literally ask it to help you write a playbook that I can use as a lead magnet. There's something a little bit further down in here that talks about helping you create lead magnets. So now it says, okay, I want each ad to have a 30-character headline, a less than 90-word body, 1 emoji max, and a call to action to download the guide. I want my tone to be friendly, optimistic, and data-driven. Now you can change any of these things. If you don't like the tone when it gives you the answer or the result, ask it to give you something different. Now, the prompt. So again, here's the parts. I've got a role, action, prime, but there's specifically within the prompt, here's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to draft a copy, the headline and the body for each concept, suggest 1 image per ad, and list 2 targeting keywords per ad. And then I'm also including what is down here, a model suggestion. Because I found that a lot of people, when I'm talking to them, they've said, John, I have no idea what model to pick. So I built into this list a model suggestion. So all you have to do is take this out of here and go into ChatGPT. Now, I said the model suggestion was 4.0. So I'm going to pick the model of 4.0. And I'm going to paste this right in here. But I'm going to adjust, and I'm going to say for renters in Lodi, California, earning between $75,000 and $120,000 a year. Okay, so I'm okay with that dollar amount. Can I zoom in on this, make it a little bigger for you? Perfect. All right, so here's what I want you to do. I've picked the model that we suggested, the 4.0, and I'm just going to let her rip. And so now it's going to do the work for me. I can move on and do something else. I can close this screen. I can open another screen and get into ChatGPT and start working on something else while it is doing that in the background. So I don't need to wait for it to complete its job. I just sit back and let it do its work. Now, it's probably already done. So here we go. Here are 3 Facebook ad concepts designed to capture first-time home buyer leads in Lodi, California. And ad number 1, still renting in Lodi, body. Click here to download the guide. Hero image, side-by-side comparison. Rent 2,200 versus owning 2,050 with a photo of a cozy Lodi home behind them. Now, if you know anything about Lodi, California, you know you're not buying something that has a payment of $2,050. And so I need to change that a little bit. So I need to nudge it a little bit. But let's look at the second one. Ad concept number 2, buying in 2025 game plan. And this one says, is 2025 your year to buy? Want to buy a home in Lodi this year? Our first-time home buyer playbook helps you and it's great for tips of buyers earning 75 to 120. I don't love putting that dollar amount in there, so I'm going to tell it that. What image? I want a hopeful couple reviewing a home buying checklist on a couch with your 2025 plan written across the top. I love that image. So I'm going to start right now, and I'm going to take that, and I'm going to say, I love this image idea. Please create it for me. I need it formatted in proper size for Facebook add image upload. I don't know what the proper size is, but it does. And then I'm going to go right here to tools, and I'm going to click the tool that says create an image. So it knows, I know that I said I want you to create it, but I want to use, there's specific tools you can use. And often it knows when I say, hey, go find me the top 5 restaurants in New York City to have dinner tonight. Well, it knows that I'm going to go search the web, but it sometimes helps to nudge it and make it clear, hey, I want you to create an image. I want you to search the web, etc. So I'm going to get that working, but I'm going to go back up here and keep working. So I can have it multitasking for me. Humans overestimate their ability to multitask. Computers, we underestimate their ability to multitask. So you should use multitasking when working with AI. Have it work on something while you're reviewing something else. So I like ad concept number 2, but I don't love the fact that number 2 talks about the dollar amount here. So I'll probably, if I like that one, I'm probably going to get rid of the 75 to 120 grand. And then here's number 3, say goodbye to your landlord. You're already paying someone else's mortgage, just not yours. Our first-time home buyer playbook shows Lodi renters how to qualify for a mortgage using local assistance programs and make a smart first move. You download the guide. Here's the image idea, a smiling renter dropping apartment keys into a box labeled moving day in front of a cute suburban home. I like that one too. All right, so it's asking if I want Instagram versions or carousel layout suggestions. So remember, the AI is actually thinking further than what you asked for, and it's trying to give you more information to prompt you on, hey, here's something else you might be considering. So it is still working on this image right now. I can't do anything else in this chat while it's working on this image. So if you see this stop, this means that I have, the only option I have is to stop it from doing what it's doing. Well, I don't want to do that. So I could theoretically jump over here to a different chat, and I can start asking it something else. I can start prompting. The arrow says, I'm cool, let's start. The stop button says, no, I'm working. So the only option that you can do is tell me to stop working, which we don't want, okay? But it's working through this, and I'm not sure that it's really going to give me what I want, because it is, I asked for, I didn't paste which image I wanted. I said, I love this image idea, please create it for me. And I had, see, this is just user error. I had copied this image sentence right here, but I never pasted it in. And so I'm going to go back here again. It's got the image, but it created the image of scenario number 1, which is not the one I wanted. Okay, I want the one right here. This is the one that I liked. So yep, I didn't say which one I wanted. Now, it created, that's a beautiful looking image. It's exactly what it thought I wanted because I wasn't specific enough. Now create this one. A hopeful couple reviewing a home buying checklist on a couch. Perfect. All right. I'm going to let it work on that one, and we're going to go back to, so again, it's trial and error. But how long would it have taken you in Canva to create this? Like, even people who are really good in Canva, you're talking about 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe. Maybe it's taking you only 10 minutes, but that's 10 more minutes than what it took me right here to just tell it to create the image, and then I can move on, okay? And the cool thing about the paid version of ChatGPT is it stores all your images right over here in your library. So this is right now working on creating this image, and I'm going to go over, actually, I'll show you right here, even in the same tab, I can click out of it in the same tab, and it will still keep working. And here is a list of all of the different images I've created recently. So I could go back, if I created an image and I'm like, oh, I don't remember what chat that was in. That's okay, because it takes all of the images you've created and puts it into one place that is a simplified library for you to find everything. And I can scroll right back down here, and I can go right back to this chat and it's picked up right where it left off. So it's adding details. It's got a couple, I can see it kind of coming up here. So it's creating that for me so that I can get a Facebook ad put out there. So this will simplify your process, but you cannot simply take the first version. Like a lot of people look at this and say, I don't like it. Like it isn't great. It's not really my style. So you can say, hey, I like this one. So this is the one that I want, but I really want to change it. And so I'm going to just start a new one. I'm going to say, hey, this is a starting point for a Facebook ad, but it doesn't match my style. Can you edit it to make it fit more of a educator that wants to make the buyer a hero in to their family by getting them into home ownership? And then I'm just going to give it what I had. Okay, so I liked it, but I want to change it a little bit, and I want to give it some other context, some other creativity. And so I'm saying, okay, cool. Can you rewrite this for me? And so here we go. Let's turn rents into roofs. You're already doing the hard part, making a monthly payment. Now let's make that payment work for you. Our free first-time homebuyer playbook is built to guide Lodi renters step by step through qualifying using local programs and creating a stable future for your family. Because owning a home isn't just smart, it's a legacy move. I like that. That resonates with me. That might not resonate with you, but that's what this allows you to do. Is it allows you to brainstorm and iterate. But what you've got to have first and foremost is you've got to have good prompts. So the key is having good prompts, and that's what I'm trying to give to you is good prompts. Okay, so I want to make this as interactive as I can. If you're watching live and you have questions, please post your comments into chat. I'd be happy to answer the questions depending upon what the question is. I may or may not have you come on screen and talk through it with me. But please, if you have any questions, post them into chat. If you're watching recorded, post it into chat on YouTube, and I'll come back and I will answer those questions for you later. All right, so a couple other examples. I'm not going to go through all of these, but Instagram reel hooks. So create 10 scroll stopping hooks for Instagram. Make them 30-second reels about buying instead of renting. Each hook is less than or equal to 10 words with no hashtags or emojis. Again, I use ChatGPT and I gave it concepts. I gave it what I was trying to accomplish. It gave me these prompts. Now, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been really studying AI for the last year and a half, 2 years. And so some of you are using this and saying, John, I don't even know how to create this prompt. That's why I'm going to give it to you, because you can create this on your own. You can take this and say, hey, I like this, but this prompt doesn't match my style. I want a prompt that focuses more on blank instead of what this one is, and it will create a revised version for you. So think of it like your best friend sitting next to you at work that you only have to pay $20 a month, and you can dump all the work on it that you don't want to do. That's literally what AI can do for you if you just know how to use it. So Google search ad headlines, you can do, so here's lead magnet ideas. So if you don't already understand, a lead magnet is something you can give of value free of charge in exchange for somebody's name and phone number or email address or both. And so this is a good way as you're creating social content. Instead of just saying recently sold and posting something about how quickly you sold the property, give them something, a checklist, a preparing for moving checklist. Hey, recently sold this property. Get a copy of the checklist that I provide to all of my sellers on how to prepare and packing tips on packing up your home. Because you know that anybody who downloads that is thinking about selling a home and thinking about how do they pack up their home. And so you want to take every post that you do, every communication that you do, and think about, is there a logical addition I can add to this that is a lead magnet? That not just gets somebody, now you don't want to be too salesy, but let me remind all of you, you're in sales. I know it sucks. Like it sucks to know that we are in sales where nobody wants to admit that they're a salesperson, but guess what? You are. You are in sales, and it's okay to be a little bit salesy because guess what? That's how we're paid. So you want to think about what lead magnet can I add? So maybe you plug in the post that you're about to post, and you can ask ChatGPT, hey, what would you suggest as a lead magnet that I could attach to this post? Give me 5 ideas of lead magnets that I could attach to this post. Because posting for the sake of posting is great because it gives you visibility. Okay. That gets your name out there. But there's something more important, more valuable than getting your name out there in front of your potential leads. It's getting their name in here. It's getting your potential leads' name, email address, phone number, getting that information into your hands so that you can proactively reach out to them and follow up with them. And a lead magnet is a great way to do it. And this doesn't require you to pay for advertising. It simply requires you to take the posts that you're doing already and say, is there a logical lead magnet that goes with this that can tell that? Look, I remember growing up, we used to have Chet. The guy's name was Chet. I cannot remember what his last name was, but I remember Chet, Coldwell Banker in Redwood City, California. And every single year, we would get probably more often than once a year. There was always a notepad on the refrigerator with Chet's picture and name on it, and we were always writing things on that notepad. Like literally, Chet's name was known in our house because he had notepads that he gave to us. And that is an example, as we all know, of getting your name out there. And that's great. And we need to keep doing that. And that is what social media does. And Chet did an amazing job because here I am many years later. And I still remember Chet. May not remember Chet's last name. I'm thinking of like 5 different Chets in my mind, and he's probably one of them. But the fact is, it worked. But it would be better if there was a way that he could get us to give him our name, to give him our phone number, to give him our email address as the owners and occupants of that home. That's what you're trying to convert in lead magnets. And that is what AI can do for you every single time. So here is the post or the prompt. You're a real estate marketing strategist. List 12 irresistible PDFs or checklist lead magnets. The niche is, in this case, move up sellers, but change the niche, adjust it to match, well, who am I chasing? So maybe I'm saying, again, maybe I've already got a post done and I want to create a lead magnet to go with it. This is an idea of how to create multiple lead magnets that you then put into a post, okay? LinkedIn newsletter topic calendar. So LinkedIn has a newsletter functionality. You can put posts into LinkedIn that are blog posts, newsletter, etc. And so that might be an example. LinkedIn is beautiful for B2B, business to business. You are a business, and most of your clients are consumers. But the truth is, you could get a lot of business from other business people. Maybe it's realtors outside of your area. Maybe it is attorneys and financial planners and CPAs. So you could do business to business through LinkedIn. And so you'd want to make it clear, like in this case, they're saying, hey, position me as the relocation expert for blank, for corporate executives moving to my marketplace. And you put all of this information in there, and then it gives you a 6-month topic plan. Now you can go through that. One of my strong recommendations is when you get a long list of something, ask it to go through and review them with you one by one. Do not provide the next one until I've approved the current one. That's literally what I did when I was creating this prompt pack. So I had given AI a complete breakdown of what I wanted. Okay, so right here. So I give it a complete breakdown of what I was trying to do. And then I had it go through with me one at a time. So I'm going to scroll way back here to the top to show you an idea of how this works. So I've got all the stuff of what I'm asking it to do. I'm asking it to create it. It gives me a whole bunch of prompts. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't like how these are just simple sentences. I want them broken out. I want it enhanced. And so I went and I said, no. That's not what I want. I want you to revise this using the race formula, role, action, context, and examples. So it said, okay, cool. And then I gave it an example and it gave me one or two and then it stopped. And I said, okay, well, give me the rest. But it became too much. Like it was all just one whole thing. And it's like, well, I don't know. I didn't like number 21 and I didn't like number 34. So how do I go through all of this stuff and tell it to edit the whole thing? And so I said, whoa, 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 time out. Add an auto suggestion. Okay, so I did that. Let's see where I went here. And I said, you'll see it here in just a second, because it gave me all of them again. And I'm like, no, that's too much. And so I said, right here, start by giving me a complete breakdown of all 50 prompts, one at a time, so that I can approve them. Tell me the prompt, I will edit or approve, and then once approved, we'll move on to the next. When it gives you too much information, tell it time out, back up, pause. I need you to slow your roll and give me these one at a time. And so it did. And so it says, okay, fine. Here's your Facebook ad lead gen one. And I'm like, okay, I like it. It's approved. Instagram, it's approved. This one's approved. This one's approved. And then as I got a little bit further on, there's a couple of them I edited and I'm like, no, 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 I don't like it. Here's another one. Nope, I don't like that one. This one, it said your role should be as an assistant. I'm like, no, I don't like that you have the role of the assistant. It should be written from an expert copywriter that's proficient at marketing to real estate agents' databases. So you can go one at a time. And again, I'm teaching you guys tips and tactics how to use AI, because it can get overwhelming. You say, give me a list of these things, and it gives you like drinking from a fire hose. It gives you too much information. Tell it to slow down. Tell it to give you one at a time. It remembers everything that it had in its memory that it was going to tell you, but it'll tell them to you one at a time. So that is an example of how you can use AI to your benefit. Okay, now, before I go further, I want to pause and ask, if anybody has any questions that they have so far, feel free to plug them into chat. Or a reminder, if you're watching recorded, to plug any questions into the comment section of YouTube, and I will happily come back later. By the way, if you know anybody that could use this information, share the YouTube link with them. I would love the opportunity to get this information and my content in front of as many people as possible. All right, so I want to switch gears for a second. I'm going to go back to that prompt pack, but I want to share with you a bonus that I'm going to give to everybody today. And that is the ability to create your brand strategy guide. So your brand strategy guide is kind of your brand voice, okay? Now, what's a brand voice? I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. I'm going to explain this to you before. All right, cool. So it's just you and I. Let's be clear. AI doesn't know who you are. That's kind of memory. It's learning over time who you are, but it doesn't thoroughly understand what your business is about, what you represent, who your target audience is, why you're in business, what your offers are, and what you excel at and what you're best at. And so this is a process where you create a document that is the voice of your business. And I've created something called a custom GPT. Now, you don't get stressed out. A custom GPT is really simple. All it is a regular chat conversation that you or someone else, in this case me, has pre-written all of the rules on what questions it should be asking and how it should be talking to you or communicating with you. And so this has already been pre-written to ask you all the questions. It's pretty darn thorough. I'll tell you that I'm actually literally not done with mine yet. I started it 2 weeks ago. I spent about an hour and a half on it, and I'm about 80% of the way through. Like, it is a very thorough review of everything in your business that you want to tell AI. It is your brand, but more importantly, it's your brand voice. So now when you finish this, it's going to be worth the time that you put into it, because when you finish it, it is going to give you a single document that you can now put into every chat in the future, that you have it creating any content for you, whether it's a social media post, whether it's a client email, whether it is a blog that you're writing, anything that you want, an offer and a lead magnet, it's going to be the single source of truth about who you are and what you represent in business. And so I'm going to share this with you now and kind of talk you through it. Okay. So let's go to the brand strategy guide. So this is a link that I'm going to send to you. If you don't have the link, if you're here live, we're going to send you a copy of this along with a prompt pack early next week. If you are watching recorded on YouTube, then comment into comments below with your email address, and I will email you the link so that you can get this. Or you can email us directly. But this brand strategy guide, okay, the first thing you should do is literally just click, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to start my brand strategy. This is okay. So it's going to think, this is a great, I'm your brand strategy agent. I'm excited to guide you through building your brand voice and foundational brand blueprint. Together, we're going to walk step by step through a structured 5-part process designed to help you clarify and define the core identity, voice, audience, offers, and messaging of your brand. We'll proceed methodically through each step, and I'll introduce every section one at a time, explaining the importance and then asking a single guiding question to help you articulate your thoughts. You'll only need to answer one question at a time. Okay, so I pre-created this. So let's start with step 1. Let's talk about articulating your brand identity. This step is about defining the fundamental core and soul of your brand, what it truly stands for, where it's aspiring to go, to the guiding principles that shape it, and the unique perspectives that will help it stand out. Think of it as building the DNA of your brand. And we'll start with the first subcomponent, your mission statement. And everybody's like, oh my God, I've been told to create mission statements before, and this is super hard, and I've never succeeded. By the way, I'm talking to myself. I've been asked many, many times to create mission statements. I've had it as homework. I've always struggled with it, but this really helped me. I went through this really easily because it's asking me very simple questions. So what's the purpose? Your mission statement, and this is only the first step, okay? There's a lot that this is going to go through with you, but it's critical that you go through this exercise. It's critical because this exercise is going to allow you to branch out into creating content that sounds like you instead of sounds like AI. So who do you serve? What do you provide? What makes your approach or impact unique? It's about what you do for whom and why right now. So here's the question. Who's your primary audience? What do you offer them? And what makes your work or impact different from others in your space? That's it. So you're just answering one simple question. Take your time to respond in your own words. I'll help refine it into a strong mission statement afterwards. So you're literally not having to write this statement yourself. You're literally only having to answer some of its questions. And I'm going to show you what it looked like when I went through this. Okay. So nope, wrong one. Hold on. Let's do this. There's going to be another one that I did before. You're going to be annoying for me. Here we go. That's the new one. Brand strategy. I got a lot that I use this for. That's the one from today. I literally had this up this morning. Well, maybe that's the fun of being live. I'm not seeing it. I did it on May 30th was the last time I touched it. Hold on one second. May 22nd. Nope. I don't know where it went. All right. Well, anyway, you're just answering one question at a time. It's super simple and straightforward. I hope I haven't, I know I haven't lost the work that I did. Here it is right here. I don't know why I didn't find it. That's the one. Yeah, here we go. So I'm way down. Oops, let's scroll up here. Don't highlight, let's scroll. Why are you not scrolling? There we go. All right. Let's go all the way to the top. Can you see how much work I've done on this? Okay, about an hour and a half's worth of work that I've done here. But I'll show you kind of how it worked and what it did. And so it started at the beginning. And it did the same thing. Okay, who am I? What am I trying to do? And I said, well, here's what I do. I serve home buyers and homeowners. Also serve those who serve them, such as realtors, financial planners, etc. I help navigate the waters of buying and refinancing homes. But more than that, I provide advice on how to make wealth building work for them via owning a home. My way is special because I thoroughly understand the lending process, having done this for the last 25 years, and I pride myself in being able to explain the complicated in a very down-to-earth way that people can understand and make good decisions. This is excellent. Let's write that in a refined version. And so it says, I serve home buyers, homeowners, and the professionals who support them, like realtors and financial planners, by helping them navigate the complex process of home buying and refinancing. More than just securing loans, I provide down-to-earth advice, et cetera, et cetera. I'm committed to making the complicated feel clear and manageable so people can make confident, informed decisions. And I'm like, nope, I love it. And it says, awesome. Now that we've locked in the mission statement, let's talk about the vision. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what a vision is compared to a mission. Aren't they the same thing? No, but it made it really clear. What long-term change or impact do you hope your work will create for your clients or your industry? Imagine your ideal legacy and what does your future look like because your brand existed. And I said, well, you know what? I want my clients to achieve all of their dreams through building wealth in real estate. I think the average renter has a real low net worth and the average homeowner has a real high one. And I want to help my clients see themselves in the category of having stability and security that comes from being a homeowner. And guys, I was just talking, like I was just typing and thinking out loud of what does matter to me. Like if somebody asked me this question right now, what long-term change or impact do you hope my work creates? Well, this is it. Like many people lack the vision to see themselves any better off than they currently are or their parents are. So my vision is to give them that vision and to help them with the steps to help make that vision a reality. And this is, well, that's powerful and deeply motivating. It's a little over the top here on how I don't know what the word is. It's very I don't know, almost feels condescending because everything that I say, it's like, oh my God, that's the best I've ever heard. Anyway, so it gave me a vision statement draft. I want to refine it. Nope, it looks good to me. Great, locked in. What are my brand values? Give me 3 to 5 core principles or beliefs that guide you. And so this is literally walking me through all of these steps. I didn't add very much. Okay, so it's moving through this. Like right here, here's a good example. It said, what's a bold or unique opinion you hold about your industry, your clients, or how things should be done that not everyone in your field may agree with, but that you stand by? And I'm like, I don't know. I can't really think of anything. So based on your knowledge of me, do you have any ideas? It knows based on all of the history that I have talked to it about. And it's like, yeah, you've already hinted at several of these things earlier in this conversation. A mortgage just isn't just a transaction, it's a strategy. Good advice starts with the right questions. Financial empowerment begins with clear communication. And most loan officers are order takers. I'm a long-term advisor. And it says, do you want to adopt any of these? And I shared what I thought and what I liked. Okay. And I literally said, like, here, what I put in here, something about, I don't want to just send periodic junk mails from the loan officer reminding them that it's time to set their clock forward or give them a recipe for meatloaf. Like that's what I'm about. And this brand strategy walked me through all of these things. It walked me through creating who are the clients that I'm trying to go after. It gave me all of this content and I'm giving you this tool for free. Now, you've got to invest a little bit of time into it, but it's going to be well worth it because in the end, it's going to take all of this information and say, great, now, for example, what are some of the tone words that matter? Is there any tone that you want to avoid? Jargon, condescending, etc. And I'm like, yeah, I want to avoid sounding jargony and overly formal. I value being direct and telling people what their options are without pulling punches. But at the same time, I want to make sure that people feel heard and encouraging about the options that they have today versus in the future. And so this is a pre-made process. You're literally, if you think about this, how much money would you pay to a consultant to provide you this kind of detailed information? Like, I know that this is and this is what AI can do for you. It is an extremely valuable resource that we would have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to create this type of a brand voice document. And to have somebody come in and interview you and talk to you and give you thoughts on it and spend hours with you, you have that now for free. For 20 bucks a month using AI, you have the opportunity to create a business, like a real live business, using some of the smartest resources that exist in the world today for literally 20 bucks a month. Okay, so I'm not selling AI. I'm not making any money off of you signing up for the 20 bucks a month. You can use the free version, but it is well worth paying the $20 a month to have the benefits that that version offers. Okay, so at this point, I can go back and share more about the prompts, but the truth is, I don't want to overwhelm you with the data. Like the prompts can cover a whole bunch of things. What I'll tell you is the idea behind the prompts is really about getting your creative juices going. It's about getting you thinking about what can I do with AI? And I want to plant a seed. And that seed is that you should be thinking on all of the tasks that you're performing in your day. And you should be thinking, can AI do this for me? Can AI help me do this? Can AI enhance what I'm doing right now? Can AI elevate the outcome of what I am creating? There's a great book that I read many, many years ago called Mr. Schmooze. And it's been a long time since I've read it. I still know the core concept of it. But anybody who has read it or reads it soon, I'm sure I'm wrong on some of what I'm remembering. But Mr. Schmooze is a salesperson. And he goes around and he meets with his prospects and he schmoozes them. But he does it in a way that is 10 times more than what any of us would ever think about doing. And one of the concepts that he talks about is elevating the experience. He's talking about he's planning a golf tournament. A golf tournament? Yeah, a golf tournament for his clients. And so he's meeting with his team and they're talking about how do we elevate this? And so they're talking about one of the really, really important clients that's going to be there, and he's bringing his son. And so they said, how can we elevate this? I said, well, we could get them, personalized golf balls that are in their name. And he's like, that's great. That's great elevation. How can we elevate it even further? I said, well, we could, well, the kid's like really into basketball. And so, we could get, I don't know, a signed autographed jersey from this great basketball player that he really looks up to. So that sounds fantastic. That's a better way to elevate it. He says, how can we elevate it even more? He says, his team's spitballing some ideas, and they say, well, I mean, we could invite that pro basketball player to come to the golf tournament and be part of their foursome. He's like, that's elevation. Then he says, how can we elevate it further? He says, well, we could set up a photographer and have a picture taken of the dad and the son and this pro basketball player, and have them have something that they could keep forever that would commemorate that moment. He's like, that is elevating the experience to the maximum. Now, obviously, we're talking about dollars here, and a guy that has a lot of money to throw at his business and schmoozing with people. But the concept is what I want you to get, which is take what you do every single day and say, how can I elevate that? How can I make this more impactful to my client? How can I make this more impactful to the partner that I'm working with? How can I make this more impactful for my family? But sometimes you just don't have ideas. And so AI can be that partner that gives you those ideas on how to elevate it. And so think, how can AI help me elevate what I'm doing? Do not delegate to AI a task and then say, cool, I'm out. AI is going to handle it. I don't need to worry about it. That is the worst thing you can do, because AI doesn't have the final authority of your business. You do. You can delegate anything in your business except the final authority of making sure the job is done right. And in this case, I think you delegate 80% of the work to AI. Give me 30 ideas, and then you're going to work with it, and you're going to say, I like 5 of these. Take these 5 and refine them for me further. Perfect. Of those 5 that you refined, give me number 3, but polish it up and make it sound a little bit more like number 4. That is an example of how you're iterating with AI. You don't take the first answer. Never, ever, ever take the first answer. Okay. The idea is to use AI as a partner. And don't just say, well, I don't know. That's what AI said. It's your business. It's your reputation. Do the brand strategy guide so that AI speaks like you, that it understands your goals. It understands your aspirations. It understands who your client is and why you're in business, so that it can sound and talk just like you. But then when you do that, don't ever delegate to AI the final authority of what the finished product is going to be. Use it as a way to get 90% of the way there. And then you finish it off with the last 10%. Okay, it's critical to understand that concept. All right, guys, I know I scheduled this for an hour. I left some time for Q&A if we had any questions about anything at all. I don't want to go too deep into it and get too deep into the weeds, but the key concepts I've covered. If you have questions, by the way, feel free to post them into chat right now. I will tell you my goal here is I'm going to be doing these monthly, and I want to help to guide my partners, to guide real estate agents. Now, I want to also be clear. I don't get paid for doing AI, and I'm not a nonprofit organization. So I am a mortgage lender, and I am doing this to earn your trust, to earn a little bit of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. And so I want to help you, I want to teach you, I want to earn your trust, and I'd like the opportunity to help with any of your clients who are looking for their mortgage needs. So that is my paid political announcement. That's my commercial. The truth is, I am in the lending business, and I'd be honored to help anybody that you know that's looking for a mortgage. But beyond that, I want you to succeed with AI. I want you to figure out how to fit it into your business and not be afraid of it, which is why I'm doing these every single month. I'm going to continue to do them to give you more insight on how to use it, teach you the new tools that are coming out, and show you new ways that you can use it in your business. But as a quick recap of what you learned today, prompting is important, and you want to keep your own library of prompts that work well for you. So that's step one, is as you create prompts, you're like, wow, this gave me a great output of this great social media post. Then maybe at the end you can say, hey, ChatGPT, can you please give me a prompt that I can use later to recreate what we created here next time? Sure, it'll do whatever you ask it to do. And so you can ask it in the end, after you've gone back and forth and said, I don't like this and I do like that, then say, great, now take what we just did and turn it into a prompt that I can save so that I can shortcut and get closer to my end result right away instead of having to go back and forth with you like we did today. And then you take that shortcut, you take that prompt that it gave you, and you save it somewhere. You need to create a master library of your own. I am giving you a starting point. I'm giving you 50 to start with, and I'm going to continue to add to that list so you can come back to mine, because part of it, like I said, is you don't know what you can use it for. You don't know the ideas of, oh, I could have it do that. This brand strategy guide that I created was because I heard somebody talking about it on a podcast. And that got me thinking. First of all, I heard it at an event. We talked about having AI at Summit Funding puts on an event twice a year. And we did one back in May. And the speakers were talking about using AI to create your brand voice. I thought, oh, you know what? I've kind of done something like that, but I need to be really more specific about doing so. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do that. But I started looking at podcasts about creating a brand voice, and I came across one that had a really, really specific structure. And so I adopted that structure and I iterated it and I changed it to match what I wanted. And then I thought, I can just put this into a system, into what's called a custom GPT that I can provide to my partners and my friends. And so that's what I'm doing right now. But that's an example of how you can store information of a prompt that you used that you can reuse later. And if you're using the same prompt over and over again, you want to create it as a custom GPT. So next month, we're going to talk more about custom GPTs. I'm going to dive into how to create your own, why you should create them, what you should use it for, when you shouldn't use it, and when you can do like what I'm doing right now, which is create something that you can share. Now, let me be clear, this is a lead magnet. This is me sharing something with you that you are a potential client of mine. Either you're already working with me, or I want you to work with me, or I want you to see value in what I'm providing you. And so I am giving you a lead magnet, something of value that doesn't cost me very much. And I've created that to earn favor, to earn your trust. And so that's something you can do in your business. I want you to think of what I'm doing and replicate it yourself by using AI and the tools that are built in here for literally $20 a month. And that's stupid cheap for hiring an assistant that can help you to do all the things that we're talking about here. So everybody who joined live, you're going to get an email next week with a link so that you can get the prompt pack and you can get the link to the brand strategy guide. If you want the brand strategy guide sooner, email me directly. I can get it to you sooner. The prompt pack, we haven't finished formatting yet to get that out there. It does not look like there's any questions. So if you're here live, thank you, thank you, thank you for taking time out of your day. If you're watching recording, thank you also for taking time out of your day. But please, if you have questions afterwards, shoot me an email, find this on YouTube and put comments in there. And please share with anybody else that you know. I really appreciate everybody joining. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful Thursday, and we'll talk to you all next month. Bye-bye.